Do you lack self-confidence? Well, I found that most people lack self-confidence simply because they're too busy focusing on too many other unrealistic expectations and standards of others, especially of family and society. Family can be a very big influence on your self-confidence, and so can society. Growing up, I lacked self-confidence myself, simply because I was too afraid to believe in myself. I thought that believing in myself was unrealistic compared to believing in others. As I started growing more, I found out self confidence is something that you should believe in. Make it meaning believe in yourself because at times others won't. So in the end, all you have is you. So you want to make sure your confidence is as high as possible. So that way you can achieve and set out to do anything you want because you have the self-confidence to believe in yourself. I found that developing self-confidence is very important. And explaining and offering some tips on gaining self-confidence can very well be beneficial in helping others, like it helped me. I found that one way of gaining self-confidence is to have goals. You want to work on accomplishing something because sitting around is just not going to cut it. All it's going to do is make you feel worse about yourself. You want to establish a goal you can accomplish and then set out to conquer that goal. You want to establish the goals that you know that you want to accomplish and then you want to set out to conquer it. According to a source called Medcare Health, they say self-confidence has to do with beliefs and one's general ability to handle situations and problems in the real world. I believe so. Because achieving a small goal can build self-confidence or begin to build self-confidence if you're lacking it to the point where you just don't ever believe in yourself. And that's not what I want you to ever do is not believe in yourself. You should always. Because self-confidence is considered one of the most influential motivators and regulators of behaviors in people's everyday lives, according to another source. Because self-confidence helps you and guides you through things that you feel you lack in. So once you accomplish many small goals, then you can set larger goals to achieve. But you still have to make sure those goals are achievable or be just senseless and it can diminish your self-confidence. So you should not take on more than you can handle because you will become overwhelmed. And that is the least and last thing you want to do is become overwhelmed. Because if you learn from failure and taking a risk is another way of helping you gain your self-confidence. Failure is a way of learning and growing as a human being. Sometimes we have to fail before we can achieve. And that just shows growth of our self-confidence. So we may lack it, but then when we achieve it, we will gain it. Trust me. Remember, achieve and you will gain it. Sometimes we learn from mistakes of others, but then we have to fail on our own to gain. So if your sister makes a mistake, it's great if you're looking up to her, but then it's even greater because you might go through it on your own. So your real life experiences help achieve self-confidence or diminish self-confidence, but we want to achieve, grow. When you have failed, at least you have taken a chance. You took a chance, you failed, but you took a chance. You want to approach new experiences as opportunities rather than win or lose situations. You don't want to come in and automatically assume you're going to win this or you're going to lose this. You want to come into them and take a chance. It's okay to take a chance. We should. That helps gain self-confidence. This helps you open up new possibilities and can increase your self-acceptance. Self-acceptance, when you accept yourself, you are building self-confidence. We should learn to accept ourselves and the things we cannot control. This helps us build our self-confidence and open us up to new possibilities. And another way I feel you can gain self-confidence is by identifying strengths and emphasizing strengths. So you identify what your strengths are, and then you keep gaining emphasis on that. Then it will work on your weaknesses also. We want to take a time out to identify our strengths by taking an internal inventory. We sit and think. As we sit in and thinking, we can think of our pros and cons of our confidence. Are we confident in going to work? Are we confident in finishing school? Are we have people that help us motivate? You want to stay away from negativity. You want to stay in a positive zone that helps gain self-confidence. We will always want to do these things so we can keep in mind what we are keeping abreast of our confidence. You want to make a list of your positive traits that will help you recognize your own talents. This helps you know where you are confident in what areas and help you build. You want to build. That's the whole purpose of confidence, is building. You want to give yourself credit for everything you try. You don't want to beat yourself up every time you fail something. Say, at least I tried. I can do this. You want to focus on what you can do rather than what you cannot do. You want to applaud yourself for efforts and emphasize end products. You want to try something and focus on what you tried. At least you tried your best. You don't want to face fear, use self-talk, and you don't want to down-talk yourself. You want to use self-talk to help develop self-confidence, to build self-confidence. And I feel another way to build self-confidence is to develop self-confidence. You need to come grips with your fear. We have to grasp our fears in order to gain what we need to gain. So using self-talk as an opportunity to encounter harmful assumptions can help develop self-confidence. Face your fear directly. Fear is often described as false evidence appearing real. So you want to face those head on and not let nothing stop you from gaining self-confidence, because fear can be a factor in that situation, and that is not what you want. You want to build, build, build. Last but not least, you want to avoid comparisons, and that can increase self-confidence, because me comparing myself to you is not the same as me comparing myself to me. You want to compare the old you to the new you, not the old you to the new somebody else. You want to compare. You want to stay away from that, so that way you don't feel that just because someone got a new car or a new house that you have to do those things. In time, those things will happen. That's why we set goals, so we can build. You want to be self-confident by helping motivate yourself. Being motivated helps you gain self-confidence, because it's simply not about judgment about capabilities for accomplishment of some goal, and therefore must be considered within a broader capitalization of motivation that provides goal context, according to the National Academy of Science. You want to avoid beating yourself up with self-criticism. You want to avoid comparing yourself to others, because it can lead to feelings like you do not measure up. You don't want to measure up to somebody else. You just want to be the best you can be. And with self-confidence and building and gaining, you can be all you can be and never have to beat yourself up, because you don't want that. That's negative. You want to learn from what you're doing. When you evaluate yourself independently, you learn more about yourself. You want to know things about yourself, so no, it don't come as something different than somebody else is used to. There's a lot of turmoil from relying or comparing yourself to others and their opinions. So other people's opinions matter in your self-confidence, but it really don't have to. You just need to weed that out. If it's negative, you leave it in the dark. If it's positive, you help build. You want to build more on positive than negative. Then you want to focus on just giving yourself a stronger sense of self, and prevent yourself from giving your personal powers away to somebody else. You don't want no one to have control of your self-confidence. You want to be able to control it yourself. Or you don't want nobody to be in control of your life. You want to be in control because you can do it. You don't want nobody else telling you what you can do and what you can't do. You want to be able to just do it because that's what your confidence tells you you can do it. You want to learn because learning self-confidence can be very beneficial, especially when it refers to realistic situations in your life, not somebody else in your life. Developing self-confidence means having goals, taking risks, learning from failure, identifying strengths, emphasizing strengths, facing fears, using self-talk, and avoiding comparison to others. You want to develop self-confidence by any means believing in yourself to do whatever is you able to do to it or whatever it takes to get the job done. Not only can self-confidence be learned, it also can come from within yourself. Letting people control your confidence can damage your self-esteem. We want to stay confident of ourselves and we don't want to think about what other people have to say unless it's positive. We don't stay around negativities diminishes our self-confidence. Positivity brings it out. Positivity makes you more confident. I'm Alicia Evans, and thank you for listening to my informative speech on gaining self confidence. Thank you.